Recovery is a process of decisions podcast. This podcast is a weekly revealing of the recovery journey of peer support specialist Trent Thomas. Join him on his internal research-driven dive into what to and what not to do in sustaining recovery. His weekly episodes demonstrate that you are not alone, and what we can't do alone, we can do together. This life is hills and valleys, but we were built for struggle. These weekly episodes are a journey into his life lessons as he fulfills his daily mandate to help someone other than himself. Welcome. The Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. Welcome to the Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. This is Trent Thomas, your recovery peer support specialist. This week's episode is entitled, What Works for Me, Works for Me. Recovery is a personal decision. What works for me may or may not work for you. There's a slogan that states, what I eat won't make you go to the bathroom. I take medication for high blood pressure. However, my medicine is for me, and I don't share it. In fact, it's illegal to give your medication to another person. Recovery works in the same manner. What works for me may or may not work for you. There are some things that are uniquely common in addiction and in recovery. The fact is, the pain is the same. The highs and lows are also common in the disease of addiction. The fact that the effects drugs and alcohol have on the human body are also in common cannot be excluded. The commonality that exists in dependency, where the fact that the more you use, the more you need to feel the desired effect, is also a common experience in the disease of addiction. The devastating consequences that are levied at an individual are uniquely common as well in a disease we call addiction. We all are mandated to experience more and more severe consequences the longer we make the same wrong decisions. The manner in which the consequences are dispersed may and often do vary between individuals, but the shame and guilt experience remains consistent between addicts. The manner in which we deal with this shame and guilt can vary between individuals. It is, however, common for a deeper dive into the sea of addiction due to the effects of this shame and feelings of manifested guilt. There's a saying that states, one can live in a bottle or get stuck in a bag of dope, meaning the misery of using drugs and alcohol is met with more and deeper use of more and more drugs and alcohol, an endless treadmill of chasing more and more of the very substance that pushed you closer and closer to the depths of premature death, a needless early sunset on an otherwise meaningless and miserable existence. Addiction seeks an early closing act on the performance of your life. Your misery rushes you to a sudden rapture and exit stage left, a curtain call ending in a Sandman hook being applied to your performance on the stage of life. What results in the addition of life is a decision to live and not die. A moral spiritual cry for help from a power greater than yourself. This help can only be given by the spiritual super being. This power is the only force in the universe that can save yourself from you. For me, it was only this power that could and did save me from me. What worked for me was a spiritual awakening. It was when I hit my knees and lifted my eyes to the God of my understanding that lifted me out of the quicksand of misery I found myself in. It was only this power that was not me, because I couldn't save myself from myself. No one could harm me more or greater than I hurt me. No one could cause greater damage to my mind, body, and soul than I did to myself. My spiritual death caused complete blindness and moral deficiency in a manner that caused me to make one bad decision after another, leading me deeper and deeper into the depths of hell. Hell here on earth, a place of my own making, a place which I created by one wretched decision after another. So deep was this well of misery that only a supernatural power could deliver me from this hellhole I found myself in. My deliverance could only be orchestrated by a power greater than me, a being I call God. My recovery began the day I asked for help. The day I submitted to the power greater than me. On that day I submitted to following the help I prayed for. That day I realized needing help and asking for help are two totally different things. It was when I submitted to following the instructions that was given that my recovery truly began. What worked for me worked for me. My recovery is proof that recovery is not only possible, but in fact, it's inspected. This is Trent Thomas on another episode of Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. You can now subscribe to this podcast and receive special in-depth episodes for subscribers only, as well as a private personal email account to communicate directly with me for comments and show suggestions. In addition, I will be doing podcast shout-outs to all those subscribers who request shout-outs. As always, your inspiring comments can be left at transnetrecover.com/podcast. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, #TransnetRecover. Thank you, and have a blessed day.